Players, what's going on today? My name is Sage, aka the Golf Hacker, and welcome to my home course, the Cruise Hill Golf Club here in North London. Matt, aka the Boss, the player-in-chief himself, has kindly invited me to create a video for his channel here today. I've been documenting my journey to scratch for about a year now. Started on a 22 handicap, and in today's video I'm going to share with you some of the key learnings that I've made on my journey so far, now sitting at a 12 handicap with a personal best of 79. And so here on the first tee at Cruise, we've got a long par 4 with out of bounds carrying all the way down the left hand side. Number one priority for me on this tee is to avoid trouble. Penalty shots have no place on the scorecard and you should avoid them at all costs. Here we are sending one down the middle, so we're off to a good start. Unfortunately, it's rolled just a little bit out into the rough, and I'm guilty here of making a mistake. These shots count all the same on the scorecard, whether it's a tap-in putt or a big long drive from the top of a par 5. They all count for the same on the scorecard. This shot, I overcook it. It travels all the way through the fairway and puts me right here back in trouble, chipping out, facing a tough shot there to reach the green. You can see the flag in the distance there. So I'm guilty of rushing these shots at times, and you should not do the same thing. Make sure you give attention to every type of shot, whether it's a chip out like this one, it's an important par 3 tee shot, a drive, whatever it is, they all count for the same on the scorecard. And that's something I'm trying to remind myself at all times as I navigate my way around the course. See target in the distance there, out of bounds all the way down the right hand side this time. So old me would have taken a driver on this hole all day. It's a par 4, so pull the driver out of the bag, but the new me understands a little bit less distance isn't going to do any harm in the short term. The priority is getting it down the middle and with a look at the green with my second shot, and that's what we have here. Look at the flag there, but it's on the right hand side of the green. There's also a bunker, so target is the second arrow, middle of the green. As we've learned from the boss himself, player-in-chief, get it on the green. So that's what we're looking to do with this shot here. Aim at the middle, avoid the traps. This one does come out clean, goes to the middle of the green, and luckily for me it's got the right distance on it too, so it rolls out towards the backhand side of the green. Birdie dance, a rare one at that for me, just my third birdie of my content so far. This one here I'm a bit guilty of rushing, don't account for the wind behind me, and this one goes up, lands about pin high but rolls out to the backhand side of the green, so it's carried all the way through into some tricky rough here. So trying to use the green to my advantage, let it roll down, but I don't allow enough for the slope, and this one's carried all the way out to the other side of the green. And once again, probably a bit guilty of rushing this one. A couple of guys waiting to play up onto the green, so everyone's been there before. And target in the distance, out of bounds down the right hand side, par 5. So again, a little bit nervy with this one, pulling it away to the left, but what we'll see here is another learning I've had since starting this journey is you don't need to get all the distance in the world to get a good score on some of these par 5s. So I've only collected around 200 yards with that drive. I've pulled it away to the left, so with that tree right there in the middle, I'm just looking to get this one up and over the right hand side little bit of a draw on this one does help me as well. It certainly wasn't intended, but you see here I'm in the middle of the fairway. Up onto the green, I've got some green to work with, so using that to my advantage, not getting tricky with this chip, getting it on the green, letting it roll up towards the hole. This one is well executed, so it's leaving me with just a small, pretty straight putt for par here. Once again out of bounds all the way down the right hand side. Priority number one here is getting this in play, looking at the green with my second shot. .50 in hand. It's a bit of an awkward distance for me here, so it's a bit unfortunate. Another thing that I've learnt is to commit to this shot, but unfortunately at times I don't always get this right. In the sand, right hand side of the green. Not trying to do anything pretty here, we're just going to get aggressive, take some sand, get this ball up and out of the bunker. Priority is to get it on the green, getting a good feel for that shot, pulling right through the shot, through the ball. This one's up and out, it's rolling out towards the hole, and somehow I collect a very, very good result with that shot. So rake in the bunker, earning some good karma for this little clean up putt here for my par. A good punch shot is a must-have in any golfer's bag. Amateur golf is all about how you manage your game when you get yourself into trouble, and a good punch shot will help to get you out. Practice this shot so you know how to hit the shot with a consistent trajectory, and watch as the doubles and triple bogeys start to disappear from your scorecard. Learning from that first hole, taking my time to really think this one through. This one stays under the trees, it's through, out onto the fairway, collects a bit of distance as well. So one thing that I've learnt to focus on each time I'm swinging the club is tempo. Again, not getting this right every time, and as you'll see here, I don't quite get my tempo quite right, and you'll see the result. I've got a tricky chip here down onto the green, tree in the way, not trying to do anything pretty with this one here. We're just going to bump it down the hill, aim to collect a bit of the rough, and let it roll up onto the green. Fortunately, I've collected it a bit too cleanly, doesn't catch much of the rough, so gets onto the green with plenty of speed, rolls over the back. One shot which I still don't really have in the bag is a nice up and down soft landing chip, especially off a tight lie, so taking my time to try and work this one out. Landed on the high side of the hole. I get a pretty good contact, I get the soft landing, but it's not really accounted for the slope of the green there. Bunkers to the right, to the left and short, so not messing around with this one, we just want to get it on the green. Stroke index 2, this one. It's a long par 4 target with the arrow out there. Once again, aiming to get this one out the right hand side, let the slope of the fairway down to the left, carry it down to the left, get a great contact on this one. It's going long down there, so pretty happy with that. I will be looking at the green with my next shot. Similar to the 5th hole here where I landed myself in that bunker, I'm not aiming for the flag, I'm just aiming to get it on the green, avoid the trap which sits just short of the bunker there. So I'm aiming to use the slope of the green, land it up the right hand side of the green, and let it roll down into the middle. A bit of an awkward contact here, does manage to bounce to the right hand side of that bunker and it skips up onto the green. So not quite the way I chalked this one up, but I've got the birdie putt that I wanted. This is a bad mistake, because what I've done now is I've left myself with a tricky downhill left to right slider, a 4 par. So all of a sudden gone from having a pretty reasonable look at birdie, at least to get it close for a tap in par. But a good learning to make. If you've got an uphill putt, just make sure you don't put it miles long of the hole and leave yourself with a tricky one coming back down to the hole. So out of bounds all the way down the left hand side, so we're aiming to put this one down the right hand side of the fairway. Catching this one clean, it's going down there, so we are going to have a pretty reasonable look at the green with this next approach shot. Here on the 9th at Cruise, green pretty well protected by bunkers, one on the left, 2 on the right short hand side of the green. So not aiming to go straight at the pin, aiming to go at the middle and avoid the bunkers on the right. Unfortunately for me, it's another leaky approach shot to the right hand side, and it's going to land in the bunker short right hand side of the green. So this one a bit trickier for me, not as much green to work with to roll out towards the flag. So I'm going to get a bit steeper on to try and land it just nice and softly, not as much roll. Do manage to collect a bit of sand and get this one up and out of the bunker. And once again, we've got a pretty reasonable look at an up and down here, 4 par. So reading this one as a pretty straight putt, looking to get it up there towards the hole. This one's fading just to the left, so it's going to be a tap-in bogey. Finishes my front 9 at 42. I'm on track potentially for a PB, so hope you'll join me on my channel for the back 9. Thanks for having me, players.